Okay. All right, welcome everyone. We call the meeting to order. This is June 30th, 2026, and it's our 7th meeting of this year. So you have the agenda in front of you. So it resolved the meeting is now called to order. Can I have an adoption of the agenda as presented? Okay. Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Deputy Mayor Woodford, and all those in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Adoption of minutes. They were sent out in your meeting package. Did anyone have any issues, errors, omissions, anything with the minutes as they were presented? Nope.
I wasn't at the last meeting, so I can't complain.
Correct. You can't even comment. I'm sorry. No. All right. Okay, we'll table the minutes as presented. Any business arising from said minutes? No? No. All right, we'll move on to the mayor's update. So, as we know, residents, summer has begun, and you're going to see a lot of people out and about. So we can see our town is starting to bustle and move and come alive. That is correct. We've seen Capeland, we've seen Wales, we've seen boats, we've seen kids all over the place. And lots of tourists starting up as well. So we recognize that businesses are hard at work, and the town is hard at work to kind of make it all come alive and make sure our town is vibrant and clean and ready. Our recreation will be reported on afterwards, and we do have a regret from right now from Councillor Crawley, but she will be here. She is in traffic coming from work, and we all understand that. Our 2-hour tidy was a success, so we want to thank everyone who participated in the 2-hour tidy, helping keeping our trails and our roads clean. We have updates from infrastructure and public works coming up about our water and sewer. We want to make sure that there's summer traffic awareness. Like I said, as traffic picks up, we want to be careful. I noticed that our Pride parking space has been painted again. So that looks nice and vibrant again and very welcoming and inclusive. So we're happy to see that cleaned up again. So I just kind of want to divert just for a moment. We all know the saying, the hill you want to die on, right? That comes from a military background, correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we understand that people have very specific things they want to fight for, things that they're very passionate about, and things that are very important to them. So we have, someone who's really, really passionate about dogs and being at roaming. We have someone who's very, very passionate about the ATVs and dirt bikes being on the road. We have someone who's very, very passionate about e-bikes and scooters being on the road. We have someone who's very, very passionate about having their water hooked up or the water connection, or when's that going to be started. Someone else is very, very passionate about the sewer. When is that smell going to go away? When are we going to get it ramped up? Someone else very passionate about quarries and the permits and wondering if planning and developing are doing our job. So you can see the picture I'm trying to paint is that everyone is very dedicated and passionate to their one thing that was very important to them at the time. But as council and staff, we are standing on top of that mountain, looking down at all of those hills. And it is our job to manage and maintain and take care of all of those hills. And I think it's a little bit discouraging sometimes. We know, we chose to be here, so if we're the person you want to blame, and you want to direct our blame to us, yeah, we'll take it. We chose to stand here and accept that, arguments or anger sometimes, whether it's misguided or we're actually valid. But just remember that we're all working towards a common good. We're trying to keep everything running at the same time. So just because you don't hear us preaching about the e-bikes doesn't mean we're not trying to do something about it. And we're not preaching about the quarries, not trying to do something, to kind of keep it all running. Anyone who emails, we try to get back to you as soon as possible. Again, realizing that all these hills are happening. So we're trying to keep up on all of the pieces while maintaining structure and order. And just remember that it is a community. It's a community. We don't have to be the ones doing all the work. You know, again, you're asking us and we're here to help. But call the RCMP, take the pictures, put cameras up on your houses and your decks and your driveways. If you see some, stand out on the side of the road telling people to slow down. Absolutely, been there, done that, standing on the road. I'm not going to stand in front of them. So I'm not sure if some people want us to do that. But I have been on the side of the road yelling to slow down. I have, blared my horn. Everyone has a responsibility. So it'd be really great if we all work together. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. I know, like I said, we just want to respect the town, respect our council, respect our workers, and respect the process that we're trying to achieve. So that is it for the mayor's update.
Well said, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Madam CAO, is there any correspondence for today?
All correspondence has been directed to the appropriate committee.
Okay, as valid, and that's what we tell people as in per communication policy, that we direct it to the committee for response and review. All right, so planning and development, we're going to have an update, and our Councillor King, just to stay standing, sir. There is a lot of motions to pass, or stay sitting, whichever you'd rather.
If you hit hard, you can tag me in.
Madam Mayor, I am not very passionate about that idea. But thank you anyway. You're absolutely
try.
right. I couldn't
I try.
agree more with regards to, it's much better to have people in this community who are passionate about something than having people in this community who are passionate about nothing.
Nothing.
So
Absolutely.
that's not having people who are passionate about all these different things that you listed are far much better than having people that really couldn't care less.
Right, complacency would be worse.
Absolutely. So you can't blame council if you don't care.
Yeah,
Right? Anyway,
I
remain
digress.
standing. Planning and Development had our Zoom meeting on the June 24th. Those people in attendance was Councillor Windsor, our CAO, Robert Stacey, our Director of Public Works, Krista Turnbull, and regrets from the Mayor. As you can see, as you will see, I should say, from the permits list, you can see that people in this community are getting out. They're putting up new fences, they're building garages, they're keeping their properties clean, and all these good things. And that's exactly what we want people to do. We want to try to eliminate all the garbage, the car wrecks and all that kind of stuff, and paint your fence, do all the good things, and everybody will be happy. So I'm
Welcome, Councillor Crowley.
I'll just let Councillor Crowley in there.
Yeah. We acknowledge the reason why.
We never broke to a commercial.
No. Sorry, Councillor King.
But anyway, if before I start with the long list of things, Councillor Windsor, do you have anything you want to add before I start?
No, I don't want to hold you up.
My legs are hurting.
You go ahead.
But anyway, I'll just start off because we do have a fairly long list of items there for planning and development. So the first one I will touch on is the permits list, and be it resolved to table and approve the attached permit list from 12 permits issued from May 27th to June 26th of this year. Permits 05-0047-26 to 06-0058-26, and includes permits for garages, garage extensions, general repairs, residential, a cart road upgrade, occupancy, residential extensions, and general repairs. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Windsor. Any discussion? You sat down. All those in favor? Aye.
I was hoping to have somebody talk so I could sit down. The next one is a location. It's 46 Conception Bay Highway. It is proposed residential, zoning RMD. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle, subject to the town's municipal plan and Development Regulations. Applicant requests a variance to reduce the lot frontage to 22.057 meters. A variance notice was delivered to area residents and no comments were received by the deadline date. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Crawley. Any discussion? No? No. No one complains, so we're not going to either. All right, all those in favor? Aye. So moved. Your motion carried.
The next one is located at 556A Conception Bay Highway, and it's proposed residential, RMD. Be it resolved that the town rescind motion number 06-55-25 dated May 27th, 2025, which was approved a residential home subject to the town's municipal plan and regulations. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Story. Any comments? Communication? Okay,
Which one was that? Sorry.
which one, why were we rescinding?
Why are we rescinding it?
556A Conception Bay Highway.
Let me check on that one.
He's asking about that, he's asking because he's changed.
He changed his
location
plan.
of his house.
He changed the way the house sits on his property, and it's a formality, right?
Right.
Following the process. The next motion will be to
Yeah.
Approve a
Yeah.
different,
The reapplication, per se,
Okay.
all right? Yeah,
yeah,
that's all.
let me see that. Understood, excellent. So all those in favor of rescinding?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Now, the next one, Deputy Mayor, is to
Yes,
Okay.
reverse the...
reverse.
The next one is also 556 Alpha A, Conception Bay Highway, a new application, proposal, residential, zoning is RMD. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle, subject to the town's municipal plan and development regulations. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Windsor. Oh, I guess no further discussion needed, sir, no? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
The next one is 87 Kennedy's Lane Extension. It's residential, RMD. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle, subject to the town's municipal plan and development regulations. Applicant requested a variance to reduce the lot frontage to 22.86 meters. A variance notice was delivered to area residents, and no comments were received by the deadline date. So moved.
Okay, moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Crawley. Any discussion, questions? No. Variance again was issued, no. All right, all those in favor? All right. Okay, motion carried.
The next one is 35 Northside Road. It's residential, MD. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle under Regulation 10. And I just want to read Regulation 10 so everybody understands exactly what it is.
Thank you.
In the Town of Holyrood Development Regulation, Regulation 10 empowers the town council, to permit discretionary use within a designated zoning area. It sets the legal framework for reviewing proposed non-conforming or discretionary buildings, ensuring community feedback and evaluation infrastructure impact. And basically what it is, there's an old house there, and the people that used to live there want to take the old house out of it and put a new house on the same spot. You're taking up one and putting one down, and the reason being, well, first of all, the one that's there now, it's not fit to live in. So if we turned it down, for example, and left it there, it wouldn't take very long before it becomes an eyesore or it collapses. But not only does it become an eyesore, it also affects the residents that live around that area, because who here would want to live and look out your window and find an old dilapidated home? So that's the reason being. It's one house is coming out of there and a new house is going there.
But by today's standards, it wouldn't meet the requirements,
No,
right?
so that's where Regulation 10 comes into effect. Okay? So anyway, 35 Northside Road, residential, be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle under Regulation 10, so moved.
Okay, moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Windsor. Yeah.
Some words of support for the chair of the planning committee, who well described Regulation 10 and that property. So we have these examples throughout the older areas of the town. I'll call them the heritage areas of the town. You know, the homes are around top of the road. We had one that there was a fire, unfortunate fire,
Yeah.
near you, Mayor
Yeah, that's
Crowley.
right.
And you know, to rebuild, there's no way you can really fit in the new regulations. And you know, like Councillor King was explaining, you know, to turn it down, not only are you end up creating an eyesore for the neighbours, potential safety risk as the place becomes you know, dilapidated, maybe a fire risk or something like that. But, you know, the property owner, if they were to do a renovation of the property, might put an onerous commercial burden on them to do it in that way. It's more cost effective for them as well to demolish and rebuild. And I certainly have no issue with it in this case. And we don't like to use Regulation 10 very often. It's like our nuclear button, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's certainly appropriate. I support the chair on this motion.
Okay. Excellent. Anyone else have any comments or questions about that? No? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
And the next one is located at 43 Horizon Drive. It's a storage facility and it already exists. And they want a connection to a well and septic, interior renovations, including office. It's zoned industrial general. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle, subject to the town's municipal plan and development regulations. Application consists of connecting the current storage building to well and septic, as well as an interior renovation including the addition of an office. So that's all it's going to be. It's just basically putting an office in the building that's already there.
Exists.
And of course, they had to have well and septic in order to be able to function. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Deputy Mayor Woodford. Any other comments or questions? No. All those in favor? Aye. Keep it going.
The next one is located at 21 Bryans Road. It's proposed Crown Land application E-165518. It's zoned RMD. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle, subject to the town's municipal plan and development regulations. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Tilley. Any questions? No. Crown Land, they're looking for it. They're requesting it. Okay, all those in favor? So moved.
And I think this might be the last one. This one's located on Duff's Road. It's a proposed for Crown Land application E-165519. It's zoned RMD. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle with the following comments and subject to the town's municipal plan and development regulations. The town has concerns regarding the segment of Crown Land between the land applied for and Duff's Road. The applicant will have no access to the property other than to have to cross Crown Land. So basically, this is something that the person that's building up there is going to have to sort out with the Crown Lands office. But there's no interference with us, or because, I mean, if the person's going to build something, what's the sense of building something if you can't get access to it?
There's no access to it.
Right?
And they understand that.
Yes, and they understand that, and it'll be between them and the Crown Lands office to sort it out.
Okay.
So
Can I ask you where that's located? Industrial? Is there?
that is, just one second now.
No, there's no number there.
No, there's no number, but I think it's what we refer to just as you go up on the left-hand side up there. So, but I'll check that and get back to you there, Councillor. Yeah, there's no address, so it's, So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Windsor. Any other discussion, comments, questions? No? All those in favor? Okay, so that's it for planning and development. A lot of permits moving. Thank you, Councillor King and Councillor Windsor. Next, we have recreation and community events. Councillor Crawley. Oh,
Okay. The Recreation and Community Service Committee met on June 8th. In attendance was Kyle Hocko and the CEO, Marjorie Gibbons, and Councillor Tilley. Some programs that have and will be occurring over the summer is the town scheduled the two-hour tidy on June 12th, 13th, and 14th. Thank you to all the residents that participated in this event. Tomorrow is Canada Day, and the town will be hosting its annual Holyrood Celebrates Canada Day event at the Holy Cross Park. There will be swimming, bouncy castles, cake cutting, face painting, live music, and much more. We hope to see you all there. We want to let residents know that the Holy Cross officially opened for 2026 summer season on Monday, June 29th. That's for the swimming area. The admissions for this is $2 a person. Holyrood Day is scheduled for Wednesday, August 3rd, and at the Holyrood Cross Park. There will be swimming, bouncy castles, cake cutting, music, and face painting. Also, Camp Ahoy started June 29th. Most weeks are full, however, there is still limited space available if you are interested. Also, the CBS soccer registration closed on June 5th. However, if you missed the deadline and you still want to participate your child, you can reach out to the recreation@holyrood.ca to register. Squid Fest is scheduled for July 15th to the 19th, 2026. The full schedule of events will be posted this week, so please check the town's website for updates. Some outdoor facility updates is the community garden had some extension work done by our public work team. All 31 wooden boxes have been removed and replaced with new galvanized ones. New portable nets have been installed at the Holyrood soccer field. A piece of damaged equipment was removed on the benches on site where were repaired at the Marina Shores Playground. Work orders were generated to clean up the Highland Park Playground, and an inoculator has been ordered for the multi-court along with new pickleball nets. Some project updates. The Holyrood Cross Park washrooms. The washrooms have been completely renovated with new panels on the walls, new epoxy on the floor, new stalls, new toilets, along with new fans installed. The Holyrood Festival grounds, the bathroom renovation will begin shortly. Bathrooms are completed for Squidfest. Work is to include nurse service, lighting, heaters, fans, stalls, siding, windows, doors, and trim. The festival grounds is near completion. Currently, it's at plaster and painting stage. Landscaping is scheduled to arrive with sods. This festival grounds will be ready for Squidfest. With regard to the trails, a HTA MOU draft to be shared to council for review. Salmon Line Recreation Park update. Working on concept plans for the trail extension that will be designed with safety in mind. The date of our next meeting is August 10th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Councillor Tilley, is there anything you'd like to add?
there is so much happening in the summer, right?
Very exciting.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you, Councillor Crawley and Councillor Tilley. Thanks. Yeah, all kinds of new additions. Excellent. Okay, infrastructure and public works. Councillor Windsor, are you ready to give an update?
Yeah, for sure. And as someone just reminded me there, on the projects that Councillor Crawley was updating council on, at little to no cost to the town for various funding mechanisms. Okay, so the Infrastructure and Public Works Committee, we met on June 19th via Zoom. Myself, Councillor Story, Director Stacey, CAO Gibbons, and regrets from the mayor, tisk tisk.
In the middle of a school day. Tisk, tisk.
I got a hard time for missing the last public meeting, so I had to do that.
Oh, I gotcha. I didn't do that. Pass it on to someone else.
So we do have one motion, which I'll get to,
Yes,
and I'll provide a general update from the relevant topics at committee. As always, there's a lot of stuff that we get into a committee. I don't bring it all forward here because it's pretty tactical and day-to-day, some of it. But before I get to that, because since the meeting, and actually, like, as we were having the meeting on June 19th, we experienced a number of water line breaks, which the Voyant Alert app proved its worth once again in communicating that to people. And, you know, shout out to the town staff for identifying the leaks and troubleshooting them as fast as possible. I do know that some residents, you know, when the water comes back online, they experience discoloration, pressure fluctuations, and I've heard some anecdotes of like issues with, you know, their infrastructure inside their home. Can't comment on that without knowing all the details. There's so many variables that play there. But, you know, apologize if, you know, people experience that. But, I mean, like the mayor said, like, you know, from council's perspective, there's so much going on, and we're just trying to solve the problems as best we can for everybody, right? The maximum good.
Yeah, and not even one at a time. Trying to solve the problems, not even one at a time. It's like 15 at a time. Or
yeah, and actually, like that, it highlighted for us, you know, how critical our water is too, because I brought that commentary back to in conversations with Councillor King, you know, at planning and development, and we're talking about further developments in the town and at what point it's reliable for us to do that for our water supply. Now we have wells that are being drilled, a new tank that's going to be put in place, so timing is very important, right? So we're not anti-development, we're pro-development, but we certainly don't want to put the cart before the horse and have all these houses go in and before wells are drilled and tanks installed, and that creates a lot of problems, right? So these are the types of things that council and staff are paying attention to. And I think that's worth noting to the public, right?
Yeah.
Back to the committee meeting minutes. We talked about the water line replacements that are ongoing on Penny's Lane and Garden Road and paving. That's the motion here. I'll get to the paving project's complete. Retaining walls got some discussion. This has come up before. There's a regulation for, you know, at what point, how high they are, they have to come before council and know what's safe to do so. And sometimes when they get very high and complicated, require engineering involvement, right? So there's one of those, and like safety is paramount, and we got to make sure things are done correctly. So that resident is being communicated with to make sure it's being done right, and that person's getting the best possible advice that they can. So we approve things that are safe for everyone, right? Some ongoing projects I won't mention, general stuff, culvert replacements, replacement sewer pumps, things of that nature. Just know that we're talking about it. Here's a good topic for everyone. This is the residential property debris drop-off location that we had at the ball field. So, you know, we did discontinue that in 2025 because it wasn't being used for its intended purpose. It was meant to be for organics like branches and leaves and grass clippings and organic debris, right, for the purposes of, you know, mulching, and it could be used for composting and things of that nature. It becomes fire hazard. That's something you got to manage, right, through a third-party company like Arbotech or others, right? But people were dropping everything off there: propane cylinders, garbage, car tires, all this old nonsense, right?
And hiding it.
So, I mean, we do want to come back to that sort of program because it is beneficial to the residents, but it's got to be done correctly. People can't abuse it, and we got to be able to manage it so that we don't have a fire risk. We saw the fires last summer. We don't want to put a source of fuel in the middle of our town, right? So that's that. Now, on this type of drop-off stuff, the metal one down to the depot, I got to talk about that too. Now, I've recently used it myself. I had a couple old motorcycle parts and stuff cleaning out the garage. I said, geez, I'll dart that down to the dumpster. That's great. Don't have to lug at St. John's. Go down there, couch, skidoo, cardboard, pallets. Like, everything, like, and it's like in behind the dumpster. So you're driving up the road, you look in, you probably wouldn't see it because it's in tucked behind it, right? And it's great that we have the program because this stuff is supposed to go to the right place and not out in the woods, right? However, if you people keep using it as a dump for everything that's not supposed to go there, it will go away. And that's going to, you know, something that we're all going to miss out on, right? So it's got to be used properly, right, is the message, right? You know, we don't want your stuff going out in the woods. Bring it to the right place, right? But that's the metal only. That's metal only. That's all it is, right? So the Vinland Road, like Cabin Country, Deer Park, that's not your dump. All right. Sewer update. So concrete inspections were to be done in the last couple of weeks. Haven't got an update on that. There's a report to be done. Initial assessment was in pretty good condition given the age, right? But we'll wait the final report, right? We're optimistic, cautiously optimistic, I guess, on that, right? And it's so good it's all sucked out and gone for your big party. It's a good fest.
For your big party.
What else was there? Yeah. So, and various projects that staff are reviewing and bringing forward to the committee and bringing to the committee the whole, so we can all collectively prioritize them and seek the funding for them. Yeah, and we'll talk about the water. There are two new wells to be drilled this month, July month, and
Excellent.
that was the committee update. And now I will read the motion, which is about the Penny's Lane and Garden Road paving, which I mentioned earlier. Can the Community Building Fund, be it resolved, Town of Holyrood submit an application to the Canada Community Building Fund for funding to pave both Penny's Lane and Garden Road for a total price of $55,775. Penny's Lane recently had new water infrastructure installed, which resulted in removal of its asphalt surface. This application will enable the town to replace the road surface to a new improved state. Garden Road has been on the priority list for new paving for quite some time, and this application enables the town to provide improved route for both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. After seeking 3 quotes for the work, JSH Paving Plus submit the lowest price to complete the identified scope of work. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Windsor, seconded by Councillor Story. Any further discussion or questions, comments?
Just to
I think it's
acknowledge
great.
staff doing a great job accessing the different funding mechanisms to minimise the cost to the residents and taxpayers of Holyrood proper.
Absolutely. And I know there's some happy people now, once this
And we keep-
asphalt goes down.
And every
the-
year we keep
the
knocking
water.
off as we have the money and as
That's
they're
it.
prioritised by staff.
Absolutely. Excellent. Okay, so all
Thank you.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Excellent. Thank you, Councillor Windsor and Councillor Story. Next up, we have Deputy Mayor Woodford with our economic development update.
Good evening, everybody. The Economic Development Committee, we met on June the 25th with all members in attendance. The committee discussed the ongoing environmental remediation work at the former Valero site. So the cleanup activities, they are continuing to progress, and we look forward to the future use of this site. We also reviewed the process for business applications in relation to the new business registration bylaw that's currently being developed by our legal department. So we are aiming to have that bylaw by September 2026. The bylaw will clearly outline the requirement that all businesses operating in Holyrood need to be registered. There will be established penalties for non-compliance, and there will be a clear enforcement framework on how we move forward. So prior to the adoption, of course, we're hoping to do some type of social media campaign to ensure that businesses and residents know what we're doing in relation to that bylaw.
It will come to council as well. before
Yes,
it goes.
yes, yeah. Regarding the Oceana land that we have, request for proposal has been issued. Several requests have already been received, requests for information on it or the document. The submission deadline is open until August 31st, and anyone that's wishing to obtain a copy, please contact the town office. We look forward to, and we encourage people to get a copy of that document. Finally, the town is also pursuing funding opportunities to support the ocean sector development, and we're doing that in consultation with the Marine Institute as we work together to advance opportunities for growth in Holyrood's marine economy. So that's ongoing as well.
Yeah.
And that's it for economic development.
Excellent. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Woodford. Any comments? No? Okay. We're to public safety. Councillor Tilley, you ready to provide your update?
Absolutely ready. I want to start by just stating that Currently, we have 24 active wildfires in the province. And from what I've gathered over the last 2 days, 99, if not all percentage of them have been started by lightning. So again, it's been a really nasty lightning sessions going on. So some of the things I'm going to talk about here tonight is also in reflection to us being a little bit more fire safe, which is going to obviously help because we do not want a replay of last summer. So again, those people like me who so enjoy sitting out in their backyard with their fire pit going, I really hope they do second thoughts about that and they do their due diligence and look at their index, at the fire index that now the government of Newfoundland and Labrador has a new fire index chart that you can just go in and check. You haven't got to wonder how to do it, and it will show you if it's on low, high, extreme, whatever it is. And just because we have a sprinkle of rain, that does not mean it's going to go from extreme to low.
Right.
You have to check every time. And even if you check and it's low, have your equipment there, have bucket there at least of water, have your garden hose, make sure you're not too close to branches or trees. That's pending you are allowed to have a fire. So that was my little ramble about forest
Excellent.
fires.
Yep.
I will always have a ramble about forest fires, and this fall I will also be asking for Snowmageddon 2.3 because the more snow the better.
I know, we need another few years of it.
At
Right.
least 5 to 7. I'll be happy. 5 to 7 years of Snowmageddon and I'll be good. So again, we held our public safety meeting on June the 22nd. In attendance was CAO Gibbons, Mayor Crawley, myself. We had regrets from Councillor Crawley and from Fire Chief Rideout. In that meeting, we did have a great conversation about our partnership with the RCMP with some of our issues that we do have ongoing. We have partnered with them to do a media blitz on ATV and all-terrain vehicles. I'm going to call it recreational vehicles because not every bad person is on a dirt bike and not every bad person is on a quad. So we're going to call them recreational vehicles because 90% or 99.5% of what we have here in the town of Holyrood are here for the proper reason. And you go out on the track and they slow down and move over and they wave. I'm on the track bed every morning and it's never a problem. But again, I know that there are some problems there. So the RCMP has partnered with the town of Holyrood and they're going to do a media blitz. It's going to come out in the middle of July. They are aware of the issues, but again, as the mayor stated in the beginning, this is a law-breaking process that's going on that the people are using going up and down the main highways. This is a RCMP thing that needs to be reported.
Yeah.
We as councillors or mayor or staff can't go out in front of the road and go, stop, you can't do this. Again, this has to be reported to the RCMP. The RCMP are out. They have ticketed and fined users that are using it incorrectly. They are out there. I've passed by several times and their unmarked car has been up on Northside Road. In my career, I know the officers, so it's easy when I drive by to go, hey, how are you? So again, they're very hard to be seen if you don't know them.
And they say, you don't see us.
No, that's right, you know. So again, it's very if you don't know them, they're very hard to see, but they are out. They are giving violations. They've also our staff sergeant has also advised us of a school program that they're starting doing in September with presentations. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it the fall due to the FIFA Cup. Due to the FIFA Cup, that has taken a lot of the extra activities from RCMP away because they're all participating in the safety of that. So once September starts and the school year starts, they will be in the schools talking about rules, regulations, safety, safe operators. Again, I have to stress that if you have a 12-year-old that's going on a dirt bike up the middle of the road, one, the 12-year-old never bought the dirt bike herself. And two, I'm sure this is a small community. Parents know that these kids are doing this. So I am putting a lot of this back on the parents, and I know I'm probably going to get grief over this, but I grew up as a dirt bike operator. I had a dirt bike from the age of 10 up. And if I drove up that road and never pushed her across the road, I guarantee you when I got home, my dad knew it.
Yeah.
And my dad was a mechanic, so he would take the wheel off the bike so I couldn't use it. And that was my punishment. He would literally take the wheel and lay it in the house. So I got the wheel taken off. So again, it has some responsibility has to go up the
Yeah.
line here. It really
does.
do. So again, we're very happy that the RCMP is working with us to help solve this problem, and we will continue the fight to make sure our community is safe. Another thing that we wanted to say too, that we are currently not putting our fire pits back on the beach. The beach is very, very busy with tourists. I've seen everything from bus tours to seniors tours to everything down there, and also in speaking with the going with the fire department, we're kind of a little bit less keep any risk of fire at bay for a little bit, so we're not going to put the fire pits back quite at this moment. If we get our month of rain, which I'm hoping for, I know people don't like me for that, well, we'll put the fire pits back. I think the mayor and deputy mayor is about to throw something at me.
No, I'm okay. It can rain. It can rain every single night. It can rain every night. Yeah.
I do
agree.
also have a motion here tonight because we have one of our crude firefighters that have taken a leave of absence. So, of course, in order to keep our community as safe as it can be, we need to make sure that we have the right person back in that position for the year that their current firefighter has stepped away. So, if it's okay, I'm going to do the resolution.
Yep.
Anyone have any questions on anything with the public safety?
I do have one, but
Yep.
I can wait till after.
No, you go ahead.
I say the invitation. No, I just got to point. Absolutely, I totally agree 100% with everything that Councillor Tilley said. But one of the biggest complaints from last year, from down my way, with regards to fires, if we're going to put a fire ban in place, and people do not follow the ban, there needs to be legal action taken against them, because there's a lot of people complaining about, this would never have happened if some fool was out there doing something in 30 degrees heat. And the other thing is if there's an evacuation, everybody in that area needs to be evacuated, right? And if you don't want to leave, then the guy with the yellow stripes on his pants should be the guy that tells you to evacuate, right? That was the two things. The dirt bikes, absolutely. But one of the things that irks people, because there was something on social media a couple of weeks ago where a person, it was basically a public service announcement to try to warn people what people were doing on the roads, flying back and forth the roads on one wheel or whatever. But how are you going to solve something when the parents of these kids are on social media attacking
Defending them.
the person who's trying to save them from being killed on the highway? It makes absolutely no sense. So if I tell you little Johnny is out there on one wheel, and you tell me to go mind my own you-know-what business, where is all this stuff, where is it going to end, right? And, you're absolutely right. The town is putting out all these notices, the RCMP, everybody knows that you're not supposed to be on the roads, on a dirt bike or an ATV, especially in the areas that we're talking about, Northside Road, because even though the regulations say that you can travel a kilometer on the shoulder of the road, it doesn't apply to Northside Road because you can spit from the car and hit the trail, right? All the way along Northside Road,
roads.
so you can't use that as an excuse, right?
And they're
So,
driving right along the
anyway,
roads.
and absolutely, I totally agree, Councillor Tilley.
But Bruce, there is new legislation just passed for those fines for fires and everything. So if you go to that new website, it's fantastic and tells you everything.
I got a pile on now too. I got a pile right on. Yeah, Councillor King, and awesome update. Councillor Tilley, excellent. On the dirt bikes, right? Like, I love the bikes. Had them, have them now. Love it all. Fun, law abiding. It's not going to get better. Majority of people are law abiding, and they're great. Very small number are breaking the law. What needs to happen is the legislation needs to be strengthened, and the penalties got to be seize the vehicle, charge the parents. Seize the vehicle, charge the parents. That's it. It's very simple. When they start doing that, when they wake up and start doing that, things will improve and some lives will be saved. Right? On
And they
fire,
are
I
as much
gotta
as they
ask,
can.
What?
They are doing it as much as they can. Yeah, as much as
Well.
they can grab them and catch them.
Sometimes they're going too fast, you can't even document.
Well,
it,
that's
make
it,
the
and
call.
that's the problem, you can't even catch them.
I've seen it, right? You go,
Yeah.
and they're like, whoa, I can't even, what am I gonna call a report? Could you get, can you get a description? No,
Councillor
Bob,
Windsor,
they're going
there's
too
been
fast.
no calls,
Yeah.
not one.
I think people have given up calm, right? They're just giving up. And the fires, I want to know what the fire index is right now.
Moderate.
Are you allowed to have fire now?
And that's green, it's green.
Well, when I
It's
drove
green.
by, yeah, it's green.
It's green.
Okay.
It's towards the good end.
So you can have fire now?
You can have
A contained.
as long as it's in a container. or
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah,
in
someone's
a
burning
place
garbage
that's
up my
not-
way, and I could smell it there tonight
It's
before I
got to
come down to the
be
meeting. I was wondering if it
certain
was...
meters.
Okay.
You got to be certain meters away from forested area as well, besides being contained.
It's gotta be
Okay.
There's some meters.
it's gotta be
You gotta have a burn permit.
If it's outside,
No,
not for a campfire or like.
Campfire, but for brush, you
Yeah.
brush burn.
Yeah, Councillor Story wanted to.
Yes, I want to speak about fires because last year there were several fires started with glass because our temperatures are
Yes.
getting so hot. And so I just encourage anybody in the woods, if you see glass, put it in your knapsack, wrap it up, and bring it out of the woods because if that stops a fire, then and you know years ago that wasn't important in the sense that it didn't ignite, but now with the temperatures that we have, it's causing fires. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that.
Excellent point, Councillor Tilly. Excellent, or Councillor Story. Sorry.
Very hot topic, public safety
Isn't
is,
it, though?
Because it's all very near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
And it's all something that we want
We don't
to-
want anyone to get hurt.
No, we don't. We don't. And this time of year, as the mayor stressed earlier, that schools are out, kids are out. The kids are not sometimes looking 7 directions like we should be. So take caution. I know going along by the boardwalk, there's so much, especially when the Capelin are in and the whale is in. Really need to slow down and take your time and watch. So if it's no, without any further ado, I'll
Yep.
get to the resolution. Yes, good.
Yes.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're ready to go.
Be it resolved, the Town of Holyrood has accepted the recommendation of the hiring committee to offer a 1-year replacement career firefighter position to Andrew O'Connor. This 1-year position is a result of a leave of absence by one of our career firefighters. An initial search resulted in 2 excellent candidates submitting the resume for the position. After the resumes and interview process, Andrew scored the highest, and it results in this recommendation.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Tilly, seconded by Deputy Mayor Woodford. Okay. Any other comments,
No,
questions?
just welcome to the crew. And
Welcome to group if we all accept. So,
So-
all in favor? Aye.
now I can welcome him to the crew.
Now you can
Now I
welcome
can
him
welcome
to
him
the crew.
Okay, perfect.
Officially. Okay. Thank you, Councillor Tilly. And you're right, you ignited lots of good topics and conversation. Communications update, Councillor Story.
Well, I don't have a lot to update, but I want to, it's summer here now, I want to continue to encourage residents to sign up for the Voyant Alert, the town's emergency and public notification services. And any information to go out to the town will most likely go out to the Voyant Alert. Other than that, I just have a motion.
Okay.
And the motion is to accept committee's reports. Be it resolved, the Town of Holyrood accept the committee's updates and recommendations as presented in the committee's reports provided by the various departments and made available to all councillors for consideration. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Story, seconded by Councillor King. And we all had those in our package, and no one had any objections, errors, omissions that we know of. So, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. All right, our last committee of the evening is Corporate Services and Administration. Deputy Mayor Woodford, you're up.
So Corporate Services and Administration Committee, we met as well on June 25th, back-to-back meetings. They tend to work for us, which is great. All members were in attendance. The committee reviewed the chart of accounts and disbursements, found that all expenditures were in order and in compliance with the town's budget and financial requirements. I'm going to give you some figures, which is what we're going to continue to do. So to date, the town has collected $3,528,895.25, and that's for the 2026 tax year, with a breakdown as follows. So we've collected 77.27% of property tax, 69.55% of water and sewer, 78.5% of business tax, and 70.42% of fire services. So it's a great number. We've also collected $134,680.70 for outstanding prior years up to 2025. So that's great news, especially from that perspective, that we're still getting those outstanding tax years, people paying up. Just a reminder to our residents as well that the 8-month interest-free period ends in August, so we will see an uptake then at the end of August for payment. And the other thing we reviewed, or we discussed really, were the contracts for the town's career firefighters and management. They're up. They expire at the end of this year. So contract negotiations are scheduled for September. And prior to these negotiations are going to be performance reviews completed for all staff. So that's a way for things to get identified kind of early on, so that can be bought into the contract negotiations. At the time of our meeting, the departmental update for the second quarter, we didn't have that, so we'll have that available for the next meeting to tell us where we are with regards to each department and their budget. Any questions, or before I do the motions?
Questions, comments? So, okay.
So be it resolved, those accounts tabled in the amount of $394,080.97. Those are check numbers D5610 to D5670, and for 8271 to 48337 be approved for payment from the general account. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Woodford, seconded by Councillor King. Any questions, concerns? General payments? There was, yes, do you want to explain why the number's so high?
Well, the
this
number's so
time?
high because our backhoe.
Tobacco check.
The backhoe is the check for that. We're waiting for that to be delivered, so the check is ready to go when the delivery is made. Oh, it's
It
here?
is here.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, CAO says it's here, so perfect.
The check
Check
got
is gone.
caught, ready for being delivered.
Excellent.
And now it's gone, yeah.
Delivered to St. John's yesterday.
Excellent. Good.
We just gotta pick her up some days.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why the number's so high for
Yeah.
this month.
We were trying to be proactive so that if people on holidays and stuff, that the check is ready when it was delivered. So that's why that number is so high. Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor for those accounts being,
Aye.
Aye.
And our bank
Motion
book
carries.
balance is $277,771.82.
thank you, Deputy
Woohoo.
Mayor Woodford.
Thank you.
So that concludes our committee reports. We're going to go around for new business. I know in my mayor's update, I'm supposed to have everything said, but I did forget to say congratulations to the Ron Colley graduates of 2026. I was privileged to attend their ceremony last Wednesday, June 24th at Stop and Think That Time. We gave out 2 scholarships to 2 very deserving students from Holyrood, and that was Ella Devereaux and George Green. So congratulations to the both of them. Sorry? The fire department gave out, and I don't remember. Sorry, the fire department also gave out a scholarship. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say the name, so apologies, yeah. And I was invited to the seniors' birthday party. So the Marina Golden Age 50 Plus Club does one big general birthday party once a year, so they don't celebrate all individually. So big happy birthday from the town. Thank you for the invite. Okay. All right, Deputy Mayor Woodford.
I just have one thing to, as a reminder. Of course, tomorrow is Memorial Day, before it is Canada Day. So just a reminder to everyone that there is the Memorial Day Parade at the Cenotaph at the Star of the Sea at 10:30. I want everyone there by 10:30. So it's a day, of course, for us to remember our veterans. We will be laying a wreath, so we hope to see everybody out. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Crowley, no? Okay, Councillor King? You were not taking her 2 minutes, no.
I'll give you $20 when we're done. No, I just got one or two points. I just want to reiterate what the deputy mayor said. Yes, it's Canada Day tomorrow, but it's also Memorial Day. And if you were watching the news today, today they officially presented the
Unveiled the
danger
tree.
tree at Beaumont Hamel Park
Yes.
in France.
It was, it's
Okay,
beautiful.
and if anybody was ever been to Beaumont Hamel, there was a tree down there, and that tree represented how far the Royal Newfoundland Regiment advanced at the Battle of the Somme, which wasn't very far.
Wasn't very far,
right? So that's a good point there. And yes, tomorrow's Canada Day. Get your flags up and all the other good stuff. But I just want to go back around as a circle to what Councillor Windsor said, because with regards to all these different things being taken away, like the brush and stuff like that, because people mention that to me as well, and I explained to them, people have to understand it's not the staff that's taking these things away, and it's not the council that are taking these things away. It's your neighbors that are taking these because if you go down to where Route 60 and the Hydro Road meet, there used to be recycling bins there.
Yeah.
Right? That had to be removed because people were dumping household
household
garbage,
garbage.
and everything that had nothing to do with recycling. So who wants to dig through that kind of stuff to take the cardboard out? So a decision was made by council and staff that would be removed. The same thing up by the sports field, and a lot of people took advantage of it, taking up brush cuttings and trees and all that kind of stuff. But it's not for household garbage. It's not for propane tanks. It's not for all this stuff. So when these things, people need to understand and not get on social media and they get on social media and attack council all they want. But you need to understand it's not council that's doing it, right? It's your neighbors. It's your next door neighbor or your friends down the road that's taking these privileges away from the majority, because as like Councillor Tilley said with regards to the dirt bikes, it's a very small minority of people. The vast majority of people follow the rules and regulations, and the same with everything else. The vast majority of people put their garbage where the garbage is supposed to be, and the recycling where the stuff is supposed to be. So when people see this stuff, don't attack council and don't attack the staff. You know who you should be attacking. Thank you.
Hold people accountable.
Yeah.
Well said, yeah. Councillor Story? No, pass today? Okay, thanks, Councillor. No? Councillor Windsor?
Yeah, you took Councillor Crowley's time. I'm taking Councillor Story's time and Councillor Tilly's time.
Well, don't remember the $20.
Yeah.
Don't forget the $20 at the end, right?
Yeah, that's right. $20 each.
She's
And I
gone,
missed the
boy, she's
last
gone.
public council meeting too.
So you got two
So
extra
I gotta
minutes.
have a rant, guys. I'm sorry. And to the mayor's point earlier, like I feel like being a little bit aggressive tonight. Passionate is a better word, like you said, right? The construction projects. So I haven't let this go since Father's Day. People said, Steve, boy, you got to let it go, right? I can't, because I hate seeing things done poorly or improperly or unsafely, right? And if y'all remember a number of years ago when the culvert was done up on TCH,
Oh,
and
yes.
everything came down here through Holyrood, and we had a great, meeting to Minister Abbott at the time about that, and how that should be acknowledged and managed, and that was part of our argument, I guess, for the Route 60 improvements. And hey, don't get me wrong, like we're really grateful for all these projects, really are. Nice to see it all getting done and getting the funding approved for this area. It's awesome. However, I'm also not going to stay silent for fear of being perceived as though we're ungrateful for the projects or we're going to be punished for speaking out, and all the other projects that we're doing. So those things are two completely different things, right? And when they did that Foxtrap, made these 8-inch cuts down in the road because there was alleged speeders, That was just stupid, right? And Minister Petton needed to call it what it is, but what he did was he victim blamed the speeders, right? So I used to work in the Department of Transportation. I started my career and moved on to all sorts of different things, but you know, it's just common sense. But in the review and award process of a contractor's bid, you know, there's a safety management plan that's part of that, and there's a staff person somewhere in the government who approves of that. What they got up there now is excellent. The Jersey barriers are there. That's what should have been put there to begin with, before they started work. They did that, those cuts, and left for the long weekend. Then we had this situation down here on the south side, down by the generating station. We're doing the culvert replacement. So they were telling everyone to divert through Holyrood once again. They divert through Holyrood. They get down here, and there's flags people letting equal cars go both ways. Meanwhile, 90% of the vehicles are going back to St. John's. So they should just let them all roll, right? Or maybe not even have that project active that day would be a better idea. So it's all poorly done, and I don't think the minister addressed it appropriately when he returned from his vacation and blamed the speeders, right? And the workers are entitled to be safe. They should be safe. But it's government's responsibility to make sure that's all put in place ahead of time, right? So it's a reminder for us too, as council, for our projects here, that when we have contractors working in our town of Holyrood on our projects, that we need to make sure that staff are reviewing and approving the safety management plans before they start work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of residents rightfully upset and reached out to me, reached out to y'all, I know they did, about, you know, what does it mean, not just a nuisance or frustration to be 90 minutes, an hour and a half stuck in traffic on Route 60, demented. Safety issues. What if someone had a heart attack? Emergency response vehicles, firefighters. Like, that's a major wildfire. That's a major impact on this community, what happened. And it was not good enough. And that's all I'd say about that. Until next time.
Thank you, Councillor Windsor. Could drop mic. Bend it, yeah. And we can all let go of our breath now. Okay, so I think that brings us to the date of the next meeting, which is July 28, 2026 at 6 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please? The meeting? No? Deputy Mayor Woodford, seconded by Councillor King. All those in favor? Aye. Carried. We are adjourned.